Ken Trahan with J.T. Curtis of John Curtis Christian School. And, Coach, it's for many people the off-season, but not for you. It's never an off-season. School year's ending. Softball won a state championship. Track and field, phenomenal. Baseball this weekend in Sulphur. And, of course, trying to run a school. It's just never ending, right?
No, it really isn't, Kenny. And it keeps you moving. It keeps you young whether you want to be or not. I mean, that's one great thing about being around young people. They have such enthusiasm and are so excited about playing the game. And you're right, the softball team winning in Sulphur 2 weeks ago was exciting. And then, of course, our girls won their first state championship in track and field. And, I mean, they were beaming. Matter of fact, I think they were going to lunch today. We're taking them to lunch today, and they are really excited about it. And then we think we got a shot at the baseball championship. Two good teams. I'll be there in the finals because there are four great ones in the semifinals. But we think we got a shot.
Rules are rules. Of course, the most recent revelation about Catholic schools turning themselves in over practicing. Rules are rules, and rules are to be observed. So you appreciate the integrity of the game. And yet maybe some of this is born of what happened a few years back when principals voted to cut spring practice short. That really didn't benefit anyone, did it?
No, it really didn't. And I think probably, and honestly, we have got a revised letter just this week that kind of addressed the issue statewide. I think the initial feeling in Baton Rouge was that maybe this was isolated to one particular group of people, and I think the revelation has come out that it really is not, that there are a number of schools, and when I say a number, I would tell you probably well over half that do have to go out early. And honestly, all they are trying to do is say, let me get 3 or 4 days to find out and acclimate these new kids to the program, because all we get are 10 days. And so those 10 days are precious for us in terms of preparation. But more important than that also is that now schools are getting out so much earlier. We're one of the few schools that goes to late May. Most of them are getting out in a week or so. So they've really jammed those 10 days in, and you don't get any opportunity to acclimate your new kids or to have a kid say, you know what, I really don't want to play football. This is more than I thought it was going to be, and you don't want to waste his time or yours. So I don't think there was any ill intention. I don't think anybody was really trying to circumvent the rules to gain a tremendous advantage. It is a rule. It was certainly broken, but I think it was done with good intentions, and I think that we'll probably make some proposal here next year to at least give us 3 days that we can work prior to the start of spring training date.
Yeah, one or two of the schools actually reporting nothing more than meetings and talking about, which is kind of ridiculous if you can't meet and talk about things.
It is. And again, I think that as happens sometime in our meetings in January, we pass rules without not giving a lot of forethought to what that really is going to mean to the team specifically. And I think that we have 3 days that we can be in shorts and shoulder pads before the beginning of fall practice. Why not include the same thing in spring training? And I think that's kind of the direction we might try to push for next spring. I don't think anybody ought to be punished. I think they've realized this is probably something that is, again, more prevalent than they realized.
Many football schedules are out already. Yours isn't out yet. You're still working on some things, right?
Yeah, we are. We're still working on some places to play the games. Certainly, we need to have an opportunity to have more games played in other stadiums around our city because we have such limitation. But we've gotten some good response from some of the people at the Superdome who are going to be in charge of different fields, and we've gotten good response for the teams that want to play there. So we're going to see if we're trying to get something done at Zephyr, and if we can get that done, we're going to work to try to give our kids a good place to play.
And bottom line is you expect bigger crowds, bigger gates, more excitement because of the fact that you're in a 5A league that has a storied tradition.
Well, and certainly not just for us, but for all of us. I mean, playing on Saturday afternoon or Saturday night or Thursdays are not ideal. What we're trying to do is see if we can fill up a bunch of days on Friday nights, which are the traditional high school days. Make Ed Daniels very happy. Make Ed very happy, and I hate to see him upset. But if we could work that out, it would be a tremendous benefit to our community.
No question. And then finally, with regard to the league, again, more time to contemplate the whole scenario. And football, for lack of a better term, it's a bummer because you play a regular season and then basically you play a district schedule all over again.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, that's difficult. And it's a little anticlimactic, and really it takes a little of the luster away from one of those games. And you would like to think that you were going to meet the best team available in the playoffs and then eventually in the state championship. And with St. Thomas More and Turlings choosing not to play up, it really created, I think, a hardship on the schools that have decided to play in the 5A Select Division. They have to do what's best for their school, and I'm not being critical of it, but certainly it's going to make it a much more difficult situation to deal with once we get to the playoffs.
I mean, we got to believe that there will be a better solution at least as early as next year when this 2-year deal is up.
I hope so. We're going to have a meeting, I understand, in Baton Rouge on the 27th of this month. Where they're going to try to put a committee together that's going to try to deal with this select, non-select issue and maybe at least come up with a more equitable way of doing this, if not putting us back together completely.
And, of course, all the other sports competing at that level now. That's got to be exciting for everyone involved.
It really is. When we sat down and talked with our other coaches, we've been very fortunate and enjoy playing the girls' teams, both in basketball and in softball, and we've played in basketball and run track against them and play them in baseball. So it won't be anything different. It'll just be that we're playing them now in the district.
JT, thanks for the visit. Keep up the great work. God bless.
We're going to do it. Thank you, buddy.